Hello and welcome to, what is this? This is semifinals, ZOTAC number 268 between cze.chechi spawning in as the yellow undead in the upper right corner of the map versus Yumiko spawning in as the pink human in the lower left. The map is Amazonia, and we're in for a treat because, of course, both of these players are very, very good, and either one could make it to the finals. Either one of these players could win. Either one. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a little bit undead biased, but you know what? We'll have to wait and see what happens. So, yeah. I had a co-caster earlier today. He had to leave. So for the last game he was there, and unfortunately that was his last game. And that was a long game. I believe it was about a 35 minute game, and that was between Yumiko and email fans. Yumiko barely pulling out the win. Well, I say barely, that's not really true. In third game, he kind of dominated email fans, to be honest, even though, because considering that email fans had an expansion, like the whole game, he had an expansion, and email fans somehow managed to lose with a 10,000 gold advantage. It was insane, but really, really well done by Yumiko. Yumiko is in good shape right now, so cze.chechi better bring his A game. And up here we can see that, yeah, it looks like cze.chechi going for a pretty standard Head Fiends build is what I think that is. And they have Yumiko doing a fairly standard Archmage build here, just doing nothing too fancy. Archmage Footman is going to do some militia creeping at the start of this game, I'm sure. And we'll see if he's going to send this as a Scout Footman. That's fairly common. A little bit could do that, no problem. And we'll see. We'll see. There's already a Nubian tower going up for cze.chechi, so he doesn't have to worry about that Scout Footman coming in and making any problems for his acolytes. Though we can see down here, it looks like that Scout Footman actually not going to be a Scout Footman at all. It's just going to come over here and pull stuff out and creep. And there's a lot of units to creep here, so maybe he just wants to do this as fast as possible. And I'm going to go ahead and use the AI. Have 3 units in a line, and if you have 3 units in a line, 1, 2, 3, then the middle one will get automatically have a lightning shield applied to it, and then you can just do some extra damage with that lightning shield. And as you can see, he's actually just going to run away. You don't want to let the lightning shield damage kill the creeps, because then the creeps are considered the people who kill it, and then you don't get experience. So that's not something you want. But other than that, as long as you're careful with your lightning shield micro, you can do a lot of extra damage and speed up your creep considerably, because it's quite a bit of damage. I believe it's 10 damage per second to anything that is around it. I mean, it might not be that quite intense, but it's a fair amount of damage. Either way, Inte got some beer here, guys. So that's good. Inte is going to be having a rowdy old good time. And so yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what matters to me, is that people are having rowdy old good times. Because if they're not, then they're, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to see a Kula being thrown onto the Archmage, and the Death Knight just going to be running around the map. He's not doing too much right now. You can see that Yumiko is going to be able to run away from that Death Knight, no problem. He's not going to be taking too much harass, but he does turn around, takes another hit, but that's just a melee hit. He's down about 120 life right there. And being down about 120 life, that can pose some serious issues for you, but it probably won't in this game, because as we can see, there's really not too much else for cze.chechi. He's just getting some fiends out right now. The first one about to pop, and he still has to cross the map. As you can see, Yumiko is currently creeping this out. That Archmage is definitely not in any serious trouble, but we do see that a militia has gone down to a coil, picking up some experience for cze.chechi's Death Knight. He needs to do that as much as he can. You can see he's going to go for a second one. Oh, he's going for the steal. He did get the steal. Very nice. Forest Troll Trapper right there. Not going to be a problem. As you can see, those skeletons are doing some work on that Archmage, and that's where kind of having that 120 damage HP done to you already can add up part of this and all that. You can see that going to go ahead and get the items. So he's going to pick up a Scroll of the Beast as well as a Tome of Agility right there. Hitting level 3 on the Archmage, and now you can see that the Death Knight is going to be forced to kind of stay on the outskirts once again, not wanting to get too close in, just going for a Footman right here, which is an odd choice because normally people do go for the Peasants, but hey, why not go ahead and kill the Footman if you can? Thin the herd a bit. He's down to 5 footmen. That's still a very large number with a level 3 Archmage. As you can see now, cze.chechi is going to be forced to run back away from this, and seeing a tower immediately going up. This is a good point for cze.chechi where he can either go and creep a little bit if he'd like to. We might just see that, and we'll see. But we'll see what he decides to do here in just a second. He might be going for a Naga as he's running to the tavern right now. He's going to go ahead and kill that stag, and he can turn that into some skeletons. That might be what his real goal was there. But he's sitting at this Naga for a reason, I would imagine. But maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he won't do that. He's not tier 2 just yet, though, so maybe he saw no sense in actually sitting there. A lot of times with this, though, you do expect to see people going Lich second, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and throw down a Slaughterhouse right there. Yes, indeed, getting that Ziggurat up, and as you can see, his supply blocked as well, waiting for that Ziggurat. So on top of the tier 2, he had to wait for the Ziggurat, and if he wants to get a Lich out, there's the Lich. So never mind, not a Naga getting a Lich out. He might have been thinking about the Naga, I don't know. Or maybe he was just trying to make Yumiko think he was going for a Naga, who knows. Oh, that's unfortunate. Inte just pointed out that the main killed the creep right there, and of course if a building kills a creep, then you don't get experience for it, so unfortunate. But however, on the bright side, it was just one of the little ones. It's still a lot of experience, but hey, he's still going to get level 2. He does need to continue, and we can see Yumiko is going to go ahead and pick up some experience right here. Just picking up some experience, not a bad choice to do. He has level 3, of course, so he's in a good spot, and stealing experience that if he gets wagon pushed right here, then he doesn't want this experience to be there. He wants to have already cleared that, so that if the undead decides to back off right there, he can just creep out that. Well, that's an easy camp that he can no longer creep during a wagon push, and that might not make a difference, but it might. So it might be a better choice to keep that instead of going straight for the harass, as we might have seen before. And now we're just going to see him coming in for the harass. We're going to see that Lich, now that the Lich is out, getting a Nova on the Footman. Going to go ahead and kill that Footman, no problem. And getting some experience on that Death Knight, of course, having a lot of things to do. They're going to go ahead and take down one of that Water Elemental with a coil, getting more experience. Of course, going to see that Death Knight taking some hits from the Archmage as well as those Water Elementals. Not going to be a huge problem. And we can see that Yumiko having his Water Elementals being picked off in the order they were summoned, which is really good for cze.chechi, because that essentially means that he doesn't have to worry so much about them despawning as he's about to kill them. Now, we can see this expansion has gone up for Yumiko pretty well. I mean, it's running. He's got plenty of guys, 4 peasants down here just for wood, and can use those guys to build, making 2 more. Here comes a shop. He has 2 towers already up, a 3rd on the way. One of those is becoming a guard tower as we speak, and one of those is already an arcane tower. We do see cze.chechi creeping out some more, about to hit level 3 on his Death Knight. Needs 1 more creep camp to do so. As you can see, he's very, very close. Maybe, again, I would say 24 experience away. And yeah, his base, no spirit towers in his base, but he does have 3 ghouls, so his base could defend against the Footman and the Archmage probably pretty well by itself, but we'll see. He might decide that it's time that he just goes up there with his army, which is what he's going to do. He's going to come up here with his army to defend this, and yeah, he does have enough resources to go ahead and tech to tier 3. If he decides, yes, indeed, going to go tech tier 3. So this is not the famous Lucifer wagon push that we've seen so many times on this map. In fact, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to maybe be a big tier 3 push. We'll see. Go ahead and pick up level 3 by coiling that Footman to death. He might go ahead and try to pick up a Rod of Necromancy as well. Doesn't quite have the gold for it, but he's about to. So we'll see. We'll see. Getting to 150. And there it is. Down here you can see Yumiko picking up a Goblin Zeppelin, with the Goblin Zeppelin putting his whole army into that. And we can see that cze.chechi is creeping out this shop right here, no problem. And we do have, of course, the Zeppelin on its way, making a beeline straight for the Undead's base at this point. We do see cze.chechi is just going to be able to start just killing things. Not really a problem. Killing. Why not? Kill. And yeah, just creeping up and killing. You can see that the Lich, it's getting kind of low, but it's almost level 3, and as soon as there's a scout, there's actually a gargoyle already out on the map. Really well done by cze.chechi, anticipating what Yumiko is going to do, and with this gargoyle, he's actually going to be able to kill the Zeppelin, I think, no problem. And going to go ahead and immediately run those Acolytes out of there. Doesn't want to lose any Acolytes, moving his Footman into position. Of course, we do see Yumiko going for that Ziggurat, but it's not going to matter too much, I don't think. He's going to lose 1 Acolyte right there as he runs him in to try to repair the Ziggurat. Going to lose the second one that gets kind of surrounded right there. Unfortunate. Losing 2 Ziggurats is a big deal, but of course that gargoyle has managed to kill the Zeppelin, it looks like, and forcing a TP. So forcing a TP is a big deal. Is it worth losing 2 Acolytes? Well, he's pretty close, almost done with his tier 3 tech, so it's probably not going to hurt him too much. But it is unfortunate to lose 2 of those. And of course, losing the Zeppelin is 240 gold. So it's not completely free. And we do have Yumiko putting up a bunch of towers in his main. We can see that he's already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 towers on the way. Started to build a blacksmith right here, which is an odd choice. Normally you put the blacksmith at your expo, and it looks like he already had the expo blacksmith up. So, yeah, I guess he just was, maybe that was an accidental build. Very likely that it was. You can see Yumiko was doing a little bit of creeping right there, going to run away, just let the Water Elemental try to finish that off. And we do have now cze.chechi just coming in here with 5 fiends and 2 statues. If Cze.Chechi was trying to do a destroyer push, then that's not going to have worked at all, unfortunately. As you can tell, that the guard towers, well, yeah, he would need two slaughterhouses for that, and that's not going to be the case. So I don't think he's trying to do any kind of destroyer push. Plus, destroyer push kind of old-fashioned. But anyway, we do see Yumiko just going to give up that Altar of Kings, rebuilding it over at his expansion, throwing down a Griffin Aviary at his expansion as well. And this is going to allow Cze.Chechi to run into the base. Going to try to take down one of these building towers and try to go for these guard towers. They do have 1 level of masonry upgrade, unfortunately for him. If he can go ahead and just try to fight a little bit, that would also help. Maybe he wants to get he could try to counter expand at some point in this game and take a late game. I have definitely, from watching Cze.Chechi play against human, I definitely think he likes, or maybe even favors, doing a counter expand against human players, because I can remember several ladder games he's played and have had uploaded onto WCR and such things, where he does pretty much every game just go do the counter expand build, and I think he's very good at it. So I think we might be seeing that. I don't know for sure, and I haven't watched all of his human versus undead games, so of course it's very difficult to say, and he could be doing something different entirely. Of course, he is going to at least get some destroyers. He does have 3 statues at this point. Going to go ahead and get web as well. Is he getting any kind of upgrades? Not besides web. It doesn't look like that. Just 1-0, not a bad choice. Level 3 on the Lich has been picked up. Very nice. Going to get a replenishment potion as well, and now you can go ahead and kill that water elemental too. So it's going to be nice. A little bit more experience. And there you have it. Just creeping the map, being very aggressive. If you creep the map, if you can get higher level heroes than the human player, really, if you can really do that, then you can absolutely really win the game. You can dictate these games just by the hero levels alone. And it's not something that's easy, but who knows? We might see, it looks like a mini destroyer push right here, as we do have the 3 destroyers morphing in, getting their mana, and these not too many towers right here, so we might actually see it work. We'll have to wait and see here in just a couple seconds, but we do see that the Yumiko's army is right here. He's going to go ahead and have to coil something, losing the destroyer. 1 destroyer going to maybe coil the fiend, just going to lose the fiend as well. Will he lose 2 destroyers? Nope, going to coil that one, and now you can see he's going to go ahead and kill a bunch of these militia using Nova, and just using the AoE from these destroyers. As you can see, of course, they will be able to get more mana and more health just from eating these water elementals right there, just like that. Another really nice Nova, picking off a ton of units. Level 4 on that Death Knight right now. Going to get a really good coil on this Crypt Fiend, keeping it alive, and there we have it. Cze.Chechi winning that fight pretty well. And now you can see that there's only 3 towers left right here, so if he can just get into this base, he can just break his way into this base, then he's going to be able to kill all of these no problem. And as you can see, there's only 5 peasants left right there, so there's not really a lot, and trying to defend this with just a Archmage and a Mountain King at level 1 is not going to be the best sort of strategy here, I don't think. Of course, these undead heroes are out of mana. They cannot afford to do what they want when it comes to coils and novas, so they will have to play a little bit safe here. There are griffins on the way, at least 1 griffin. 2 griffins on the way, as well as a paladin. We do have a statue on the way, very, very close as well. And statue probably going to be used pretty much for mana, and we do have, looks like, yeah, a regeneration, a scroll of regeneration being used on that Death Knight. Gonna go ahead and see that destroyer canceling a clarity off of the Mountain King, so that's good, and trying to kill this water elemental, and he should be able to eat it right here and just kill it at some point. I don't know if the cooldown's up. There it is, and that's gonna give him 1 or 2 orbs depending on when he actually attacks with them. And just taking out the barracks would not be a bad choice either. You can see that level 3 masonry is currently being researched at the Slumber Mill. Wouldn't be a bad choice to try to kill that. Would be a little difficult to kill it in time, but it's probably possible. I don't know. No idea. No backpack upgrade from the undead, so we're not going to see any items being shipped into him. We can see that he's currently supply blocked, and he's getting that final ziggurat up to get to 70 food. You can see 2 Griffin Riders out, a 3rd one, and now a 4th one on the way, as well as the Storm Hammers, which allows the Storm Griffins, when they attack, to kind of do a multiple AoE type of damage thing. If you've ever seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It moves through units, the damage attacks multiple units in a row. A really nice coil save on that Crypt Fiend right there. We can see that 2 towers down in Yumiko's main base. So this is a good position right here for Cze.Chechi. The only thing that's not good about this position for Cze.Chechi is he does not have an orb, and he could have an orb at this point if he had backpack and he just brought it in on one of those fiends, but that's a little bit unfortunate. I don't know if he had the money at any point to do that. He probably would have 1 or 2 less fiends. It'd probably be worth it, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. Another really good coil. We might see some burrows here at some point. Gonna see one of those Griffins going down. We do have, of course, these gonna see a TP coming in, as maybe we'll focus down on the militia right there. That would be a good choice as well. Just gonna go ahead and take down everything except one militia. There's only one peasant alive right there, and now there are still 4 Griffin Riders up there. Have 1 attack upgrade. Level 3 masonry is completed. Is that a ward? Clever ward from cze.chechi right there. He's had that for a long time apparently. It's about to wear out. So that means almost 5 minutes because it has a 5-minute duration. A really good ward, and you can see it just gonna creep up, trying to creep up his Mountain King, his Paladin, just get those guys to 3-3, and he'll be in a really, Yumiko will be in a really good spot if he can do that. But we'll have to wait and see. cze.chechi up here, gonna come up here and creep out his expansion right now. It doesn't look like he's trying to do any kind of counter expand build, and he's gonna have a bit of trouble coming in and really dealing with the fact that there's a bunch of Griffins. Griffin armies are very difficult to deal with, but he's going to have to try. Well, of course he's gonna try. Oh, a coil on the Lich. Oh, the Lich goes down at level 4, I believe. GG's is called. Yeah, losing your Lich like that is never a fun thing to have happen to you. So that's game 1. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and get into game 2 very soon. So yeah, I'll be on my way. I'm just gonna scroll through the tabs real quick. Yeah, so there you have it, game 1, guys. Well played by both players as usual.